This is a game that had been running from 2016 to 2018, and the reason why I think you might be interested is that this is actually the original game for Punishing Great Raven. As you can see, the Chinese title for Punishing Great Raven makes direct mentions to this title. Recognize this character and this character. So this game is, I'm not sure if they had a official English title, or most likely not an official English version. So I would call it by its literal translation, which is Battlefield Double Ponytails. Let me just call it Battlefield Ponytails. From now, it sounds smooth to call it that. So, some fans had organized a storyline summary for this game. Basically, a screen record. Looks like they've got 12 chapters of stuff, and considering they've been running for around 2 years, that sounds about right. I mean, back then, maybe it's probably reasonable that, they only had all in all around an hour of main story content. I've seen some character side missions, and I'll try to cover those as much as I can. And I will be watching the videos and pausing, translating the Chinese to English in real time. And I will summarize it in the highlight and save it under my highlight session, and most likely put it up to YouTube as well. But just before we start, let me give you a very quick impression about this game. This is their Baidu wiki page. I guess that's their original PV or something.
战场双马尾是珠海酷肉科技有限公司开发，上海陈志科信息技术有限公司独家代理发行的一款运营在 Android、iOS 平台上的二次元收集类战斗 RPG 手游。游戏于2016年1月14日开启第一次萌新先锋内测，2016年12月15日10点开启全平台公测，2018年12月31日12点全面平服。除了二次元玩家热衷的美少女收集养成之外，该游戏与愤怒的小鸟相似模式的弹道休闲类游戏更加容易让二次元玩家在日常的收集养成之余，通过轻松便捷的战斗互动产生成就感及愉悦感。主要角色有男主角阿呆弗洛马、阿斯麦、蓝艾因斯达纳、贝拉勒高热、凯西蒙哥凯利、坎加安等。
记得我之前做新游预。
Okay, I think I will go over this wiki page in better details, especially their story background and characters part. Oh, and their characters, by the way, I'll do my best to translate their names or to say their names in English. Their names are designed to be about 1 or 2 characters off from certain historical figures' names. I mean, the first name would be similar to someone and then the last name I don't recognize, but I'm not very good with history, so I'm not sure if that actually refers to something else as well, but I'll just do my best to translate it phonetically. I guess this is the most important character in the game, for example. Her name is Dive Roma. I mean, I don't know how much of a real-world event the game actually makes reference to. And this is Lan Einstana. And actually, their Chinese name, actually the way the characters were written, sometimes their names reference certain pop cultural concepts that, the Chinese, millennial, and Gen Z generation would readily recognize. And so yeah, without further ado, let's dig into Battlefield Ponytails Stories, the prequel of Punishing Great Raven. This is a world governed by military. Anything about cuteness are said to be incorrect or not appropriate and had been prohibited. This is the character for cute or cutie or like silly, naive, that kind of thing. I think basically they were saying there were a lot of laws governing, you shouldn't exploit young girls, or you shouldn't objectify young women, that kind of things. Oh, and they go really fast. So I guess these two laws were, one of this is guardian of young girls, the other is the improvement of behaviors policy had been rolled out 16 years after, I guess, certain disaster or big event had happened. Oh, by the way, you know how in Punishing Great Raven, one of the themes is to find out certain truth. So it is possible that you could find some clues in the story of this game that could answer certain questions in Punishing Great Raven. But that said, as you can see, there's only 1 hour of main storyline. And I wouldn't think the company would give you everything, right in front of your eyes. But this would be like the normal, I guess, quote unquote, the normal world before the world was like what it is in Punishing Great Raven. And it's possible that certain events here had led to a series of events giving rise to the Punishing Great Raven universe. So we can look at it as like background information for Punishing Great Raven.